What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. Usual guys are here. Myself, Brother John, Brother Walt. Had to take care of some things, but he will be in shortly. Uh, this tourney, man. People still, the big dogs are still going down. Uh, it's just crazy. This is one of them years. Is like if you're a top seed, you almost don't want to be a top seed because you're guaranteed to win in a way, but at the same time, you still got to play the game.
Everybody's gunning for you. If you're a top seed,
Yeah.
everyone's playing their best against you because they got something to prove.
Yep, 100%. I agree. And it's, I think this year more than ever, man, is you don't know who's gonna win it at this point. They say zero brackets were still perfect after I want to say the first 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you gotta be good at this thing if you still going solid now.
But you know what though? To that point, it's interesting because those the blue bloods, that you would think, got all the NIL money, things of that nature. They're the first ones going down or not even making the tourney.
Yeah.
So, you would think that, those schools would be better or get the better guys. But I think, too, it comes down to chemistry. You look at some of them 15, 16 seeds, they've been together 2, 3 years, some maybe even 4. And then you play an all freshman team in Kentucky or Duke or North Carolina, and you coming up, you losing.
Hey, the Princeton one though, this is what's crazy because every time you see that team win that one, right? It's like, oh, all right, they beat the 2. And a lot of them disappear in the second, but a lot of them actually end up winning the second one because they're playing a 6 or a 7 or whatever. Not many make it past that third one. Like eventually that third one hits them. It's like, okay, all right, back to reality.
Yeah, you're talking about the Elite 8.
Yeah, and so to make it into the and so it's gonna be interesting to see if Princeton can actually get it done. I think this is the big one. If they pass this round, this will be definitely Cinderella. Sure, it's Cinderella winning 2. But winning 3 is just different. It just puts you in another bracket with other great Cinderella teams all time. But which makes me feel old to think like Davidson and Steph Curry was like 15 years ago now. That's just so crazy.
It is very.
I feel like I just watched it, man. Like I feel like but I feel like I watched it like 10 years ago or 5 or 7 years ago. Like not 15, but
right.
It's pretty crazy to think that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, man. I think the tournament is one of them places where if you don't know somebody now, it's almost like hey, you can go from a nobody to somebody, with a couple great games in the tourney. Look at what's my man name from Butler? He plays for the Hornets now. What is his name? Gordon
Hayward.
Gordon Hayward. People didn't know about Gordon Hayward, but he took off for Butler and them, in that whole NCAA tournament, and it came down to one shot, although they didn't make it. But, that turned his whole life around. Then he went from just a guy at Butler to one of the top picks.
I saw an article that just yesterday. It's funny you bring him up because I saw an article yesterday. It's like after the Hornets got smacked by Utah, I'll bet Gordon Hayward's really regretting leaving Utah I'm like, dude, that's not what undid his career. Like, it was snapping his leg in half game 1. Like that.
Yeah.
If he had played for Utah, that still happened, like his career would still, like, you know what I mean? He would still be. Not many people ever recover from that fully. You know, come back, and Dwight Howard, whatever. You know, certain guys, like you see them, they play the game. Derrick Rose, they play it much more tentatively. Like they're not. I think Derrick Rose still could attack the rim like he used to. You know, not at his prime. I'm just saying, like, I think he still is way more athletic than what we see on the court. But he's not going to do it because, like, in the back of your head, you're thinking, dude, if I do that again, I could snap it again. And some guys do, and they get real. And so, you know, we've seen that from Gordon Hayward. You know, but I'm gonna bring Walt in real quick. But yeah, it's just
it's good.
The tournament's been kind of crazy, you know, to see like all the upsets, the buzzer beaters, you know, all that stuff. It's always fun. The bracket's one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah, go ahead, Walt. We're talking about the tournament.
I say, how you gonna just tell me to go ahead? I don't even know what the hell y'all talking about.
I just told you. You got.
Oh, we're talking about the tournament. What about the tournament, though?
The tournament in itself. We just discussing the tournament.
You see how they just be putting me on the spot like that? Jesus, man, Joseph, you know?
You've been watching.
Anyways, the tournament's been cool. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what's been said because, you know, my teammates ain't really passed me the oop like I thought they was about to, but you know what I'm saying? They just threw me out there in the field. But how I feel like the tournament is going so far, I feel like, you know, you're gonna have your upsets like we have every year. You feel me? It definitely hurts, especially me, I should say, you know, for, you know, a guy who's new to betting. You know, it's been kind of hurting me a little bit. So
we don't condone. We don't condone that.
It's been hurting me a little bit. But other than that, man, it's been great basketball. Just seeing this up and coming new talent, you know what I'm saying, in college, man, just seeing how these guys elevating their game at this time right now in March Madness, man, it's good to see, man. And the basketball that I've been seeing, I can't remember everybody's names, man, because this is just so many damn schools. But the guy from Kansas State, I think his last name is Noel, real short dude. I think his number is like number 3. Man, that boy is a baller. I was watching that KC game over the weekend. Man, that boy, he looking like little baby magic out there, like just some of the passes that he was putting out there. Real talk, brother. But Kansas State is definitely one of my favorites going into the Sweet 16 for sure. But like I said, man, I am expecting more upsets, but also I'm expecting, you know, some of these top teams to continue on in the March Madness so they can continue on for that national championship.
Yeah, and like me and John was saying, though, you know, the tournament is one of them places where you can go from nobody to somebody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Because it only takes one good night and one bad night. You feel me?
So talking about Gordon Hayward, to John's point earlier, Steph. You know,
with Davidson. Yeah, that Davidson run, that was definitely dope for sure. You can even go with the Kimba with the step back. That's always going to be monumental in March Madness for real. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's so many moments, and they can continue to add more moments as the years go on.
100%. Go ahead.
I know the step back was famous in the NBA before that Kimba move, but I feel like it really took off after that. Like it became super, like everyone was like, I don't know. I felt like a lot of NBA players adapted it after that. Like I think even they were like, that's a nice move. I kind of like that one. You know, and I saw it really catch on. Like even I think he kind of brought it into the NBA more. I don't know, you know, and I know it was there before. I know people can say, "Oh, it was always there," but it really became popular after that. I feel I didn't see it as much before that, but I'll say because the Kansas one was a big upset. I felt, but over in the women's bracket, seeing Indiana lose the other day that caught me off guard. I did not see them going down like that so soon in the bracket.
And Purdue just lost too, didn't they?
In the women's bracket?
Yeah, they lost to St. John's.
I think you're right. I don't remember who they lost to, but I think I did see they lost.
But the number one team over there now is Iowa, if correct. Or no, I'm sorry, it's South Carolina. My bad. I almost can't forget about them. They still undefeated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big because I think Miami, Florida took out the men's Indiana team too. If I'm right, I think
they did.
They took out the men's and the women's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's a rough.
Talk about bragging rights.
Yeah, that school's take.
And then to that point,
trash.
Miami's women team got a set of twins that's out there cooking. They both out there putting in work.
Well, yeah, I think I seen that on Facebook. If I'm not mistaken, they both had like dreads or something. If I'm not mistaken.
No. They're both.
No.
No. They're two white young ladies.
No, I'll tell you.
They out there cooking though. They out there putting in work. I'm like, bro, they see that another situation. You can go from nobody to somebody, and then be on somebody's radar as a draft pick. But yes, I mean it's just been good basketball in both brackets. Like I was telling you guys the other day, I was watching Miami. Oddly enough, they were playing Oklahoma State. They were down like 17 at half, and then they end up winning like 60-58 or something crazy. They just did that press 94 feet and started causing turnovers. And
that's another thing. You see a lot of full court press as well in college basketball, which I like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see too much of that in NBA because the guys might be a little bit older, but but it seemed like like in the college basketball game, like it's you see a lot of the more defense, I should say, and that defensive pressure, I should say, with the full court and half court stuff like that. So I love seeing that just in itself.
I think if you have the home court advantage for the playoffs locked up in the NBA, you can be like, oh, we're down 12, we're down 14, we'll come back tomorrow and get them. Whatever. We ain't gonna kill our guys for a shot to win this game when we can just come back tomorrow and beat them again. But I do kind of miss that a little bit in the NBA. Like I see this all the time, like because we talk about the Tracy McGrady 12 and 35 seconds or 13 and 35 seconds, like. The reason that doesn't happen anymore, and I know that was still an anomaly, but it doesn't happen anymore is because teams just don't even try. Like I'll see a team down 12 with 3 minutes to go, and they'll just be like, pull the starters. And I'm like, what? There's 3 minutes, man. That's you're 2 threes and you're back in this. You're down 6. Like I don't understand like why the NBA, we don't see it. But then last night with Boston, they're up like 14 and Tatum's still chucking threes with like 30 seconds to go. And I was like, you leave him in for this game, but you pulled him out of the last one with like 6 minutes to go. Like, I don't understand like where their choices come from in a lot of the NBA games. I will say a lot of the endings of the NBA games have not been fun to watch this year. Like they have not been nail biters, guys pressing full court. And so the tournament has been great in that aspect to see like, oh yeah, these guys every play are fighting to win this game, but also maybe to get their name recognized nationally.
I was going to say that.
That's the big difference, though. I was just about to say, that was the way how you just worded that. That's a big difference because what they're trying to play for compared to what the NBA players are playing for. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not saying I want that 82 games from the NBA. I'm saying, man, give me 5 to 10 of those. Each team, give me 5 to 10 of those a year where you are like, you know what? This game doesn't matter if we lose or win, but we're going to go win it just to prove we can, or we're at least going to die trying. And you don't see it.
You've seen it a couple times this year. I mean, I think with those couple comebacks
per team, not like 5 for the whole year for every team combined. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, sure, we've seen 5 of them this year, but I want to see my team. Like the way Lou Dort, we were talking about Lou Dort was locking up Kawhi last night, like his life depended on it.
It's just different scenarios, though. That's why I say through an 82 games, they don't really have to play that much defense. They defense really don't have to elevate until they get to the playoffs. You feel me? But I mean, that's why I say in March Madness, they're fighting for something completely different because of the fact it's only one game. You feel me? So it's either you win this game or you go home. So I feel like the defensive intensity amps up in the NBA a little bit more in the playoffs, but just not as much as in the regular season, like you said.
I agree with you, but there's even bubble teams like whatever. I'm not saying the Bulls do this, but let's take the Bulls. Like they're a bubble team, right? They're like, they could be, and you don't even see it from teams like that. Like that's my point. It's like I'm not talking about teams that can afford to lose because they're 16 games in the lead or something like that. But I'm talking about you got teams on the bubble who could miss the playoffs if they don't win this game, and they're like,
Well, the Bulls have been doing that as of lately. I will say that they are playing a lot harder.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Bulls specifically. I'm just using bubble type.
No, I got you.
But yeah,
but now, and to me, it's always weird why you don't play like this the first 50, so then you don't have to play as hard the last 30 because you're already in a good position. But what do I know, right? But next topic, Dillon Brooks, is he the NBA's
next? What, Patrick
new?
Beverley?
No. Is he because they all they own, man. Is he the NBA's new villain?
I like how you worded that.
Because I don't think Pat is a villain. Pat is a menace to refs. I don't think. I mean, he is
there's some point guards that hate him.
Yeah.
Like, Westbrook can't stand him.
I think you hate him. I think you hate him if you're playing against him, but you love him if you're playing with him.
No, I think Westbrook still hated him when they was playing together.
No, I will say if you get a technical foul late in the game when it's a big deal, I think even your own teammates hate you. Like on that game, you know what I mean?
You gotta admit though,
he's blown some games on technical fouls. Like that dude will pick up a tag.
And he was like, "Foul, come on."
Okay, I love that moment.
That was a horrible call though. Like you can't be mad at Pat because you made a bad call.
I was watching that play again last night, and the announcer was like, you just can't do that. You just blah, blah. I'm like, dude, that's a funny, great TV basketball moment. Like, come on, man, enjoy it. Like, dude went and got a camera. It's goofy, it's stupid, but come on, man. It's just.
But I will say this though. I think Dillon Brooks is just doing what needs to be done to help his team. Every team has to have one. You think about the Bulls and the Pistons in the 80s and the 90s, they had Dennis Rodman to do those things. The Lakers in the, maybe 2000s, they had like Rick Fox to be that guy. Cleveland had, who did y'all have to be that guy? Matthew Dellavedova? Pretty much. No, for real, he was the agitator.
If you want to say that, I guess, yeah. I mean, you could go with either him or JR or Shump.
But Dellavedova was that guy who was like at the bottom of the pile, he'd be punching people.
I mean, okay.
I can't stand that guy.
He did the dirty work. He did the dirty work. Now.
Or you can go Andy. You can say Andy. Let's say Andy.
Golden State has Draymond. You need these guys to win a championship. You need these guys. In Miami's case, with LeBron and them, they had Udonis Haslem. A lot of I'm sure at that time, if you didn't play with Udonis, you didn't rock with him. But you played with him, you loved him to the core.
I agree with
you. Teammates you need.
I agree with you. You do need these guys to win championships because if you go look at that Warriors team that just obliterated, with them in the first one, Sean Livingston was not a clean guy.
That's true.
Barnes, not a clean guy. Zaza Pachulia, not a clean guy. Draymond,
They had a couple that year.
Yeah, even Kevin Durant that year, when he was with them, like led the league in like technical fouls or something. Like he was.
I think he was trying to prove a point.
He was in his feelings, man. Probably was.
But I also will say though, it only works because the refs allow him to get away with it. Like Dillon Brooks could easily foul out of every stinking game, but the refs just don't. Like because it's good TV or whatever, they let him do these things. Like
we got to be honest too, though. Dillon Brooks, he ain't no slouch.
No, I mean he's not no slouch, but he's not a superstar either. Like I mean, he's just that guy that shows up to work every day and does a good job. Like
you're right, with a hard hat. Yeah, you need that.
That's fine. I mean, but at the end of the day, that core itself, that's not going to do nothing in the West. You feel me? That's cool to get you maybe to the playoffs, but I mean, pretty much what he's doing, he's just pretty much just trying to maintain the team. He's doing what he needs to do to maintain the team through whatever. And you can't even say struggle because I mean they're still winning without Ja, like they have been in past years. So the Memphis is just pretty much doing what they're on pace to do what they've been doing for these last couple of years. Is still make the playoffs with or without Ja Morant. Simple as that.
I think he really turns it on for the Warriors though, and they struggle with him. I mean, I think neither Steph or Clay have hit 30 against him or nothing like that. You know,
they still have bragging rights. That doesn't mean anything.
I mean,
no, but I'm saying like he has beat them several times now by 20, 30 points without Ja, but I'm just saying my point is he needs to still focus on his game, and I'm not saying he's not. He's but like you know what I mean, because you don't want to just become that guy. Because you're going to find yourself like Pat, you're going to be overseas, you're going to be in the D League, you're going to be somewhere else. If you don't also focus, just be that guy, but also focus on your game. And I think he is. I'm not saying he's not, but he's a great shooter.
I think he knows exactly what
he's doing what he needs to do to get them to the playoffs.
I still think there's certain guards like James Harden when he was aggressive, or Shai Gilgeous that could make this dude foul out every single game because they're so good at drawing fouls. Like he's not going to stand a chance. But if you're not a draw foul guard, yeah, he's going to have a night against you.
Yeah. So, in other news, Jimmy G has been offered free sex as long as he's a Vegas Raider.
Fuck.
From a local Vegas brothel. I guess two of the best there.
Well, at least he used to that type of lifestyle. He used to that type of lifestyle. His last girlfriend was a superstar anyway. So
but I mean,
I'm not sure how this is legal, but I'll say this: they know it's good PR. They know it's good PR for them. Like because if Jimmy G's at the place, other people will come to see Jimmy G. I guess whatever, or come there because Jimmy G's there, maybe. But
right,
I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Like this is he's got his own. This is his NIL deal.
But you know what's crazy though? To that
point, he said NIL deal.
That's nasty. That point, he was at a press conference or something the other day when he got announced that he was the quarterback, and some man was like, "Hey, we're happy to have you, Jimmy. I got one of your jerseys." Jimmy like, "Hey man, thanks. I appreciate it." And then dude was like, "You're a very handsome guy and you're great looking as well." Jimmy was like, "I don't even know what to say to that." And my question is, how do you respond to that?
Should be like, "Nah, bro, I'm cool, man. Shit, what you talking about? You gotta let them know up front, for real, man. Because
you just say
they gonna pursue you. They gonna pursue you. They don't give a damn. You gotta let them know up front.
Say what, John?
You just say thanks, man. My wife would agree. Like I don't know.
Well, in Jimmy's case, never mind.
I ain't saying thanks. Then they going. That's more for them to keep on trying to compliment you. I'm like, hey.
Well, remember that lady showed up.
That's all you got to do.
What'd you say? You can't tell them thanks
you can't say because then they're gonna try to give you another compliment. Like, ooh, let me chill because I don't want to get it. You know what I'm saying? Let me chill because I ain't got nothing against them. Just don't try shit with me. That's all I say. You know what I'm saying? Disrespect my wishes.
That lady who showed up in a dress and proposed to Brady at the Super Bowl. Remember that? The lady who showed up in a wedding dress. Remember the lady who showed up in a wedding dress and proposed to Tom Brady at the Super Bowl? Like,
I think I remember that. But that's different though. That's a woman.
That was a reporter though. Like that was her question. Like her company sent her to ask Tom Brady a question, and like it worked. It worked because they got their attention. Like they got all the attention they wanted.
Because it was Giselle. I'm like, wait, what?
But like everyone else still kind of looked at it like, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to give you another question after that. Like even, you had your moment and you got your publicity for that moment, but you're not going to. And so as a reporter, because I think this guy was a reporter, at some point, like they're not going to keep coming back to you if you're just doing corny questions. And so I think a lot of people aren't going to go that route.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I just don't know how I would respond.
I'm nipping that shit up in the bag right then and there.
I'm like, because like to that point, like, how do you respond? But I agree.
Just told you.
You can't say like John said, "Oh, thanks, man."
No, you just got to be like, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You just got to give them hand movements. That's cool. That's it. You don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Right, just don't sign a picture for that guy. Sign a jersey.
Just give him a thumbs up.
Don't what?
Sign a jersey for that guy. Don't sign a picture or nothing. Like
Yeah, if real talk, he could have probably just been like, "Hey, cool," you know what I'm saying? Like, "Hey, I'm a fan. That's cool. You're a fan. I still, give you an autograph or whatever. That's fine.
Hey,
We gonna
Jimmy,
keep it like that.
of yours. You're very good looking. I'm like,
We just gonna keep it at that. We just gonna,
why
hey,
did you feel the need
we be like, you know what? This is what he could have said. Let's keep it professional. That's what he could have said. Let's keep it professional.
But with all these players, like we see Ja, being like people just releasing info on him, like where he is all the time. And we see, with the banana boat crew, we saw like with the OBJ and his boys on the boat, like now, like if Garoppolo hits the playoffs, everyone's gonna be like looking up where he is because they're gonna be like, oh, if he loses, it's because he was here or he was there, and it's never just because they had a bad game or someone else fumbled or something. It's always just because of, oh, what'd they do the night before? Well, that's why they lost. And it's like, dude, there were Babe Ruth was like smoking a 6-pack and eating wings before the games and going out and crushing homers, but no one ever criticized that because he was winning.
Them sports was different back then.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if you're winning, it's like
at halftime.
If you're winning, it's a running joke that you did these things. But if you lose, it's because you didn't take your job seriously enough. Because you were on TikTok. It's like, oh, stop it.
If I'm Jimmy, I'm taking him up on that.
But I hope he look into this though, because I don't want him to get in trouble afterwards, just because it is part of his part.
For what?
I mean, and it's becoming so public though. Like, like John said, is it really legal though? Like, can they actually offer somebody? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what. I think Vegas got different rules.
No, you know what they do? They do because you know why? I was there a couple years ago.
Don't tell us. You ain't got to tell us. You ain't got to tell us.
No.
I was about to say when stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Somebody passing by and they was offering. It was like, call this number for free. I'm like, they just offer that? It's out in public and it's legal in Vegas. Vegas live on their own rules, I guess.
So it's the first house.
But
home office. Let me go ahead and take everybody else up. Take us out. Got some business to handle. We appreciate everybody watching here on Real Deal Sports. You feel me? I see y'all on the move. Got to get back to work. So throw out them Tyreeks. Love y'all. And we'll holler at y'all Thursday.
But yeah. So it was it's just crazy.
I'm just saying you could hey, if you're willing to give it for free and I ain't gotta pay for it.
Listen,
but I'm sure Jimmy has other suitors.
You want to stay out of trouble, get yourself a good woman.
No, I mean
stay faithful to her, and don't mess with that. But nah, it's just crazy. Like this is where this is where it's going now. But
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that it's just crazy. Like this is where it's going. Like it's just they're not people are now.
And then I mean Jimmy got enough.
I'm sure it's good business for them. I'll say that, but I don't know how it's good for the team or whatever all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, people, what I will say is don't tell everything. If you're in one of them situations, everybody ain't got to know. But we appreciate you all for coming through once again. Please like, share, subscribe, and share so we can get those views up. And the more views and subscribers we get, the more great content we can bring you. But from everyone at Real Deal Sports, we'll see you all later.
Yes.